Greetings, everyone. I have all the attendees muted, but if you need to ask a question, please feel free to raise your hand during the training today. And I will go ahead and turn it over to Amanda Weber with CadmiumCD.
Thank you so much, Monica. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. As Monica said, we are recording this, so that way you'll be able to reference it in the future if you'd like to return back to this video. But the primary purpose of this video is to get you familiar with the review site, its functionality since it's new for you this year, and just kind of the technical aspect. I'm here from our vendor company, CadmiumCD. My name's Amanda. And I'm happy to answer any technical questions you have at the site. And then Monica and her team are also available if you have any specific questions regarding the review itself or the criteria. So displayed on the screen currently right now is the login and landing page to the actual site. So the first thing that you'll receive from Monica and her team is an email inviting you to log in to this login page. Once you receive that email and link and click through, you'll see where you can scroll down to actually log in, and your information should be pre-populated on that page if you're accessing the link through that email. When you log into the site, it'll actually transfer you straight to the actual review site here. If for some reason you are a submitter and have submitted previously, you'll see your proposal submissions below at the bottom of the screen as well. There are two sections of the header bar that I wanted to point out to you first. So the first section is the conference details on the upper right-hand portion of the bar. And that provides a drop-down menu of the actual conference date, location, and website if for some reason you need to reference that. You can see on the right, it'll also provide you with Monica's main contact information. So if you have any questions about the process, you can reach out to her here as well. I'm going to close that drop-down menu and then move on to the technical support area. So this is if you have any glitches with the site, if you're having trouble viewing your reviews, maybe saving your reviews or logging in. These are the direct support hours and phone number and email of CadmiumCD, which is my company, that provides the technical support for the website. So if for some reason you don't want to contact us directly, you can always type in this box here to send a support ticket. Any frame of these references for contact are applicable. So if you wanted to call, submit a ticket, or email, the wait time on any of those are synonymous. So closing that, you'll actually see your profile information. When you log in, you'll see your name posted at the top of the page here. We do have a feedback section that you can fill out at any time. So if you are halfway through your review or maybe finished your review, we do welcome any feedback. So when you click on this feedback form, you can provide any suggestions to the site, improvements, maybe critiques on the process, or any compliments as well. We welcome all of that. Monica and her organizers do have the capability of doing this as well. So please feel free to submit there, and keep in mind this is separate from your technical support area. So if you have any trouble, that would be always under technical support here, but the feedback is just regarding the site in general. So going back to the home page and landing page, you'll see when you log in, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, the number of completed reviews you have in relation to incomplete reviews or recused reviews. So this gives you a brief statistical overview of what you have been assigned, and we'll go into that in a little bit more detail as we proceed into the next few pages. The review period that shows is the amount of time you have to complete your reviews. So your deadline date is October 6th. If for some reason that's extended, it will be reflected here. And you do have the capability of logging into the site at any time to adjust your scores, adjust your comments, any of that information that you've provided up until that deadline date. So keep in mind that you can continue to revisit and edit your scores until that time. After that deadline date, you do have the capability of logging in to access the site and still previewing that data, but you do not have the capability of changing your scores or comments at that time. So the first link provided is actually a reviewer guide. It's a generic PDF form that we have of the site that is going over exactly what we're going over during our video recording today. So if at any point you just need a refresher or reference, you do have the capability of clicking on this PDF and just kind of scrolling through to get a screenshot of the functionality of the site and how to save your reviews. So if you have any questions in reference to this, please reach out to us at any time. We're more than happy to kind of walk with you in any problems that you're experiencing personally. Moving on to the main portion of the review site, you have two links here. The first link is going to take you to click to begin reviewing, and that will take you immediately to the first submission that you've been assigned. As you can see here, this is a test account, so we only have one submission assigned so far. But you'll see maybe you have 10 submissions assigned to yourself. It'll show you that you're on 1 out of 10 submissions on this upper right-hand corner here of the scorecard. So in the center of the screen is the actual submission with all of the data provided by that person who submitted. And you can scroll through to see the description, the learner outcomes, practice areas, etc. You do have the capability to print this or download the submissions offline if you would like to take those submissions offline to review and then log in later on to provide your scores. The scorecard itself allows you to toggle back and forth between the submissions you've been assigned. This information page will actually take you to your review summary, which we'll visit in just a moment. And then, of course, we have the home button that takes you back to the main screen. So the checkbox below that will actually show if you have to abstain or recuse yourself from the review. This is if you have a potential conflict of interest with the submitter or maybe the presenters or the submission itself. So if you choose that, it'll allow you to continue and save without entering any of the required information below. If you do not recuse yourself from that review, you can continue on to the required drop-down menus. And you can see that there are different content areas that you are scoring on a scale of 1 to 10. So as you score your submission, you will be requested to enter comments for that review as well. And then you can enter your final decision of whether or not you think it should be ultimately accepted or rejected. And when you click Save Review, it'll actually take you over to your next review assigned. In this case, because there's only one review, you can always go back to revisit once you've completed all of your reviews. You'll see as you're scrolling through each of your reviews, it'll show you your overall review average scoring in relation to this particular review. So that's really nice because you can tell if maybe you're scoring a little too high in the beginning or maybe scoring a little too low. You can always go back in and edit those scores at any time in order to make adjustments. So the little information button that takes you to your summary links to the same link on your main page for this view a summary of your reviews. And what this does is it actually takes you to all of your review assignments in a stacked, condensed screen. So you have the capability of just searching for a certain submission. If you know the title or the submission ID number, it'll actually condense that search down for you. You do also have the capability to click to quick view your total score, your recommendation, and your comments for that submission, as well as your individual question answers. This page does allow you to focus by status as well as other types or topics here. So you can see all of your completed reviews together in association with any incomplete reviews or recused reviews that you have so far. And keep in mind that your notes and favorite and flagging on this page are purely for your own personal use. So if you wanted to make individual notes to yourself, you can save those, and those will only be seen by you. No one from the committee will see these, no other reviewers. This is purely for your own organizational purposes. And if for some reason you're scrolling through this list and you're coming through a submission and you're saying, that score isn't right, I remember that submission, I want to take another look at it, and I want to change some of those questions, you can easily click the green View button to jump to that review again. It will return you back to that submission and also back to your scorecard where you can make edits or changes back to the scores. Once you've completed everything, you'll see this end screen. It'll ask for your feedback here. Again, you can always return back to your reviews or your summary up until that deadline date. But that's the main functionality of the site. It's extremely user-friendly with being able to walk through the system. But I'm more than happy to kind of open up the call now to address any particular questions that we've been collecting and gathering. So I'm just going to walk through the chat menu here. And if you have any questions, at this time, feel free to type it in the chat. Or Monica, I'm not sure if you want to unmute the person to talk verbally. But it looks like Alec is confirming that everyone will be receiving the email invitation to log in to begin reviewing on this coming Monday. So this coming Monday is going to be the 25th of September. So that's when you can expect to receive that email with your login credentials. So any other questions at this time? You'll feel free again to type it in the chat. So Monica is just confirming if anyone has any questions, please just raise your hand into the GoToMeeting webinar and she can unmute you so that way we can have a discussion.
Or feel free to submit something through the chat box.
Thanks, Monica.
I really think the system is quite good. This is our first year for CWEA to use the CadmiumCD platform. It's very intuitive. They've got lots of help features. But if you need additional support, there is the PDF Abstract Scorecard Reviewer Guide. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions, or feel free to contact CadmiumCD. Oh, I see that Kevin has a question. Kevin, hold on. Let me unmute you. Go ahead, Kevin.
I just want to confirm that the page we're looking at now has a review period September 18th to October 6th, but we're actually not getting our
good point.
Proposal to review until the 25th. Is the 6th still going to remain the deadline?
It is. I apologize for that. We were thinking we were going to be able to release some of the proposals a little earlier for review, but the way the system works, it's going to be much simpler if we just sort them all out through the system on Monday morning when the proposals have closed.
Do you have a feel for how many we're going to need to look at?
It's going to depend on your practice area. When I looked this morning, we had about 26, but the majority of them come in the last couple of days.
Yep.
Last year, we had, about 150, but then those got divided up by practice area. So it's going to be a little hard to give you a true estimate. And Kevin, I can't remember exactly what you're signed up for.
Oh, I can't either. I think I'm up for collection systems and maybe condition assessment, asset management, I think.
Okay. So unfortunately, I don't have a good way to estimate how many in just those practice areas you would get.
Okay, well, we'll see on Monday, I guess.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all right.
Anyone else have any questions? No? Well, in case you have questions as you're doing this, feel free to contact me or Heidi. Heidi will be helping us with this as well. And I will say thanks, Amanda, and thanks everyone for your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Monica. Thank you everyone for joining today.
Bye.